Hey guys, Sean Loxley here. This is going to be a little mini review of this game, which is Nauticrawl. Also, I really wanted to make this video because I wanted to... I wanted to, like, talk to the devs, kind of. I feel like since playing this game, I basically can't stop thinking about it. It's been like a week, and it just, like, took over a part of my brain, and I haven't been able to stop. Now, initially, the playthrough for the channel took about 4 hours. The first couple were very stressful because this is the game. It's kind of like learning to drive this steampunk spider robot. But once you figure it out, the game essentially becomes trivialized. And that is kind of why I wanted to talk about the game. Now, first off, the mini review portion. I mean, I've recorded this a couple of times, you know, and the last one was like an hour long, and I'm just like, that's way too much. Let's cut it down. Let's, you know, cut down to the meat as best we can, get rid of all the fat. As far as the game itself, this is the game. Everything you see here is basically the game. There is a little bit more, but it's basically you. It's sort of two parts. One is learning what all these controls do, and that's what stressed me out for the first half the playthrough. And then after that, it's basically all this. There's some other stuff too, but it's basically this and just manipulating the controls. And if it at all looks interesting, then I recommend the game. If it doesn't, then obviously I'm not going to recommend it. And the thing is, I don't think I can recommend it to the majority of people. The game is $15 normally. I purchased it for half off, so $7.50 plus tax. And I played for about 4 hours, and that's fine. I felt like I got my money's worth, even though those 4 hours, right? Usually we talk about, you know, $1 per hour for value, right? But, you know, $2 an hour, I would say this is fair, because this is a unique game. I liked it a lot, and based on how much I've been thinking about it, maybe the $15 price tag would have been fine. I've also probably put about 15 hours in it by now, maybe a little bit more. Just screwing around. I've only beaten the game twice. It's really short. You could probably do it in under an hour if you know what you're doing. You could probably do it even faster. I don't know how long it would take to speedrun. But like I said, if it looks at all interesting, it's unique enough that I think it's probably worth a purchase and a try. Now, this was originally released in 2018. They've since released another game, I think around 2020, that I was interested in, but that's VR only, and so that's off the table. But I really felt like I had to make this video because this game is so interesting and unique, and it's not really a game, unfortunately. It's closer to a demo or a proof of concept. Like, it's not incomplete. It's complete. There's a beginning and an ending. Not really much of a middle because it's very short, but I guess you could say, well, I want more, and always leave your audience wanting more, and that's good, but it feels like they focused on the wrong thing. The devs, I mean. So the trailer kind of bills this game as a oh my god, this crazy machine, you have to escape, no one's ever escaped alive, figure out the controls, die trying, try again, escape. You know, it's like this pulse pounding kind of thing. You're like, oh shit, okay, I'm gonna figure out this machine, and I'm gonna go through the world and run the gauntlet and all this stuff. These purple things are turrets, by the way. This yellow thing is a dead land squid. But this, oh, hey Manny, this is basically the game. And unfortunately, I feel like the developers there's learning the controls, and once you've learned them, the game is trivial. But I want to learn the controls and then explore the world. I don't just want to learn the controls. I want my mastery of the controls to be tested, right? Literally, once you figure out how to exploit the cloak field, you've won. Nothing can touch you, nothing can see you. Repair kits don't matter because you can't take damage if they don't see you. And you have infinite battery if you know what you're doing. So you'll never run out of power. The only thing you'll run out of is fuel, but I mean, you could literally walk up to the turrets and steal from them, and they'll know that you're there, but it won't matter because they can't shoot you because they can't see you. It feels like, and just looking at the devs' second game, it feels like what they want to do is they want to make a game about trying to figure out the controls for a fantastical machine, which is what they did. But I look at this, and this sounds stupid, but I see this and I'm like, oh my god, they could have the next Subnautica here. Like, that's not a joke. Like, they've literally... I get like really kind of amped about this, because the land squids, it's a little clunky. I feel like, because all these things, they say they operate in real time, but it seems like it's actually more of a turn-based system. I don't know if they just couldn't figure out how to make it real time or not, but it's fine. They say the land squids are attracted to movement, which they're not. They could see you. Once they see you, that's it. But I just feel like there's such wasted opportunity, because they designed the map to be procedurally generated. So when you replay the game, it's different every time. Not only is your individual, they're islands. You're on an island. Each individual island is different. The world map themselves are different. And that's, if they could get it down, that's unlimited replayability. But like I said, once you figure out the controls, you're basically done. Even the final boss of the game does not really present a challenge, because, you know, there's so many resources, and you don't, by resources I mean fuel. That's the only one that matters once you figured out how to cloak. But the land squids, when they see you or get near you, it really sounds like the Subnautica sound design guy. You hear it, like, around you and behind you. And I know I'm pretty sure it's a static effect. I don't think it's actually 3D, although maybe that's why they went VR. Maybe they wanted to be like, let's take this to the next level. And that's something that I would encourage, right? Because I like I said, I've been thinking about this for the past week. Imagine if, like, what would happen if there wasn't a cloak? Because my first time playing, you can actually, I mean, if you want, you can go watch my playthrough on the channel, that's fine. And I think what everyone does is they don't know what's going on with the cloak. They know it drains the power, but they don't know really how to use it. And so they just run through the turrets, and your little crawler can take a lot of damage. But what happens is, as you get more and more damaged, you lose individual systems. You lose your cloak, you lose your computers, you have, like, graphical glitches going on, maybe your radar doesn't work as well. They put so much into this game that once you figure out how to use the cloak, it's just trivialized. All the systems, all the procedural map generation, all the graphical glitches, all the, you know, trying to be sneaky, all the engagement basically goes away. And that's a huge problem for me, because, like I said, I love this game, but I don't think the majority of people would. And I'm trying to think, like, how like my imagination kind of just took off, and I'm like, how could I make this game better? What could I add? Because like I said, this really could be the next Subnautica, I think. Imagine if this world, the other, like this looks great, and it actually is super well designed. All the controls, once you figure out what they do, they actually make a lot of sense. It's like driving a car for the first time, which is super stressful, but once you figure it out, it's like second nature, and it really does. Like, I can look at the dials and I know what they all mean. I look at the gauges. It's incredible. This is fantastic. The other sets of controls suck the cork, right? They look like a child's toy. This looks like steampunk. Those look like, Mr. Toad's Wild Ride or some crazy crap like that. They just don't look great, I don't think. You only, like this master power switch, you only use it once. I want like, not a land squid, like a land crab or something that detects electrical signatures. A sky shark or something, right? Because sharks detect electricity in the water. That's actually how they track fish and stuff. Let's say it pops up on the radar. Oh my god, it tracked me. It knows I'm here. Kill the power. And then you have to wait, and you could hear it swimming around you. You have to wait for it to move away before you turn the power back on and restart your mech. And hopefully you have the battery, right? You have a heat thing, you have to manage your heat. Maybe something detects heat. Maybe there's something like in Dune, the drum sand, right, that detects movement, and you have to go over it really slowly. The problem is what you're seeing now on the radar, these two turrets and the land squid, that's basically it. There's a couple more things, but this is basically the whole game that you see. And that's why I say it's like really more of a proof of concept. It's not... I'm really passionate about it. I want it to be more fleshed out, because that game, I think, would be fantastic. Keep this. Re-release the game. Remaster. The other control stuff, that's fine. Redo that, maybe. Keep this the same. Add more stuff. Because the thing is, let's say there's the Sky Shark that detects electrical signatures, okay? It's one system. So you have to worry about electricity. The turrets, they just see you. You can make it so the land squid actually detects motion, not a facsimile of motion, right? Like kind of they're doing here. You could do the drum sand, where the faster you are, the more it sends out a shockwave or something, the more sound it makes. You do something like that, and maybe these things individually are no problem, but what tests your mastery of the systems is how they interact together. Because, oh, here's a sky shark, you gotta kill the power. Turn it back on, oh god, there's a land squid. I need to get away before the sky shark comes back. Oh, but there's a sentinel coming after me. I need to be able to hack into it and deactivate it real fast. Oh, but, the electrical systems are on for me to do that. Sky shark's coming, I gotta do it quickly. It's the interplay of these disparate elements. Separate, if you will, separate elements, all the individual elements. It's how they interact together through the procedural generation that makes the game potentially what it is. That's why I play this. And whoever made the comment of, because I played Iron Lung, and I think on the Steam page, someone was like, if you like this, check out Nauticrawl. I was like, all right, that's cool. This is kind of the inverse, right? Because Iron Lung had very, very simple controls, but you had to navigate through the world. This has very, very complicated controls, but the world navigation is trivial. It's very simple. If they could expand upon what they've got here, add more stuff, the procedural generation, like that's what blows me away. It's like they didn't just make a map. They literally figured out how to procedurally generate both the area and the world map. And also, oh my god, I haven't even talked about the writing yet. If you like writing in games, because this is so low tech, this gives me nostalgia for maybe like the original Wasteland, which I never played, but all those like old school isometric CRPGs that kind of told you what was going on through the writing, like Planescape Torment. This does that stuff, right? Can we scan anything? Where's my periscope? There you go, boom. A tall metal structure made of rusted iron joints and radiation corroded panels stands 5 stories tall in the desolate landscape. From its peak, a blinding red eye sweeps across the desert floor, attuned for Nauticrawls without heraldry and roaming land squids. Integrity 100% because you could shoot these things and take them down. Give me more of this. I want to know about the world. The achievements you have to get through basically dying, but once you get them, and that's the other interesting thing, right? If, let's say you die, you get a field, the devs give you a hint. They're like, hey, try using the cloak in this way, and that's how they trivialize the game. You get that and you die again. If you get back to your body, you can pick up the other field notes, the little hints. Then you go to the other section, you're going between islands, you could talk to the traders and you can ask them about those field notes and they'll give you exposition about the world. Dude, give me more of that. I want to know about the world. They use salt as their currency. They don't specifically come out and tell you that. You just have to infer just from talking to the merchants. It blew me away the first time I realized that. I was like, oh my god. They've developed, that's why I'm just like, this is so crazy. They've developed this whole world, this whole map system, this whole land generation. And they just give you a little taste, and I'm like, my god, I want more. But they're like, no, we're not interested in making more. We just want to, you know, it's like they're interested in the frame, not the painting itself. I'm like, no, I need more. So that's kind of why I made this video, because like I said, it's in my brain now. It's stuck there. But I don't think they're really interested in making the game that I want. But I'm like, I see this. I see the potential. It's like, oh my god. You know, this could, they're potentially sitting on a gold mine and they don't know it. And that's why I'm just like, and who knows? You know what I mean? Maybe they could make something and it's the best thing ever. And it fails. It's a flop. I don't know, but I really feel like this is so compelling. I just give me more. Like seriously. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. That's it for today, guys. Thank you guys so much for your time and attention. Really do appreciate it. Really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love this game. It's not for everybody. It's probably not for most people, but if this at all looks interesting to you, it's worth a play. If you like the video, leave it a like. If you know of anything that's anywhere near this, tell me. Leave a comment, direct me to it. I will check it out. I do also take recommendations. If you guys watch the video and you're like, hey, you should really play this game, or I think you'd like this game, I take game recommendations. They go onto the backlist because part of what I'm trying to do now is get through as many of my Steam backlogged games before I get booted off, or before, more specifically, before Steam upgrades to the next version of Windows and forces me to get Windows 11 or some bull crap. But yeah, if you know of any games, recommend them. I do read all the comments, assuming BitChute and YouTube tell me about them. I read all of them. I try and respond to all of them. It usually takes me, oh my god, cat hair. Usually takes me a few days, but I do try and respond to everybody. I'm just super busy with work, and when I'm not, I'm usually tired. So if I don't get back to you immediately, that's why. Yeah, but I'm super amped up now because, I mean, I'm just really passionate about what I see, the potential that I see in this game, or future games, right? But yeah, that's all for today, guys. Hopefully, I hope to see you guys. Hopefully, I hope to see you guys next time. I hope to see you guys next time. Till then, guys, take care.